The best in poker news, entertainment, and more. This is the Mark Hoke Show.
All right, everybody, we are live here at the World Series of Poker main event. I'm your host, Mark Hoke. Thanks for joining us here on the Mark Hoke Show. Of course, heard on KLAV1230am.com and, of course, markhokeshow.com for most of these broadcasts. And, wow, it has been a wild first hour here at the World Series. Of course, they stopped about an hour early last night to get ready for this money bubble, give ESPN a chance to get reset and ready to roll. But it has been something else this morning, as we will have no main event champion cashing in this year's main event. That is unbelievable. Hoke just busted a little while ago. He is gone, and so with that, he was the last main event champion standing last night. He is gone, and now no main event champion will cash in this year's championship. Unbelievable. But, man, we are seeing at this point some amazing eliminations. These players on break, and I believe we're at about 20 to go. Joe's going to be joining me here in just a couple of minutes, so we'll get all the fun headlines and everything as the pressure is on. But, man, there's just a lot of interesting things going on here in the room, and we're going to take a look at that for you in just a second. Let's see if everybody can pay attention. We got a camera and a big yellow cone, or orange cone there. Phil Ivey decided to take a shot at this on a flip with tens against ace queen. It holds up. Ivey doubles up to 676. A couple of the busts, Michael Dentale busts out with aces against ace 7 to a 4 flush with about 20 players left to the money bubble. Boy, it's a tough break for Mike. That is a rough one. Let's see what else we have. We'll pull some of the other bust outs up here in a minute and get you a recap from what happened last night when we can. The players, of course, playing out level 15, finishing that up. They've done that. They've just gone on break. The money bubble will be, without question, during this level here, level 16. Clock will be running, but they'll add time back on. Dinner after level 17, and they play 18 and 19, and then tag them up, and off they go for the evening. So this will be a little bit of a short day for these guys, too, because the pace here has been incredible. Last night, of course, stopping an hour early because of where the money bubble was, so they kind of timed that thing out for everybody. Let's go to, let's see, they're listing now at 7:16 remaining. Bear with us for a second. Oh, my goodness, you've got to be kidding me. Some more wild hands going on here already. Of course, Hoke busting out Queen Jack against Kings against Dan Smith. So Dan Smith ending Hoke's tournament. Ben Hamnet, the former Borgata champion, has already been eliminated. He goes down to Brian Caverman. Caverman's Jacks hold against Hamnet's Ace Queen. So Hamnet will not cash in this main event. Charles Freeman and Ryan Spoonoggle are out. Ryan Teppen still in there, by the way. Run Good Gear Pro. Saying hi to him. Ramus Larson hitting the million chip mark. One of the few players there is David Einhorn, goes down to 140 on that. Alan Mastique, one of your eliminations today, as Joseph Liberta has his sixes hold up. Joseph Alban eliminated. Let's see. Randy Ole picks up a hand against Ali Islami, so the two of the better pros left in the field, duking it out there a little bit. Larry Karambas is out. Aaron Painter goes down to 56. Ronnie Bardo, of course, right now trying to set a record for most consecutive cashes in the main event, but Bardo gets clipped a little bit and loses about half his stack. He's at 55,000 right now. So Ronnie Barda in there. Gordon Veo, and this is a horrible beat for Gordon. Gordon Veo taking a hand against Brian Reardon here very early on. Reardon raises to 9,000. Veo goes all in for 108,000 chips. Eddie Sabat was in the hand. He thought about it and folded. Reardon makes the call right off the bat, and Reardon shows queen of clubs, queen of diamonds. Vio shows his queen of hearts, queen of spades, and made the mistake of saying this will be real torture if someone loses or one of us loses. 10 of diamonds, jack of spades, 7 of diamonds, jack of diamonds, 9 of diamonds, and Veo hits the four flush against queen, and has his World Series ended. Nicholas Astet also out, eliminated by Hutter Kichi. So those are some of your eliminations at the moment, but we are whittling it down 716, at least according to what we got right now. And I'm going to check Kevin Mather's Twitter account because he's right on top of that. 1 second, and of course Kevin in the room. I'm sitting outside the room right now, so unfortunately I cannot see how many we have left. But all these guys out here, and gals of course, looking to try and get it done here, and we are now at 7:05 at this break. 7:05. So when we come back to play, 12 away from the money. So 12 unfortunate people here are going to miss out and not cash in this year's World Series. Of course, one of them, when they bubble, as has become tradition here at the WSOP, we'll get a buy-in to the main event next year. So at least they'll have that. And the gentleman that did it last year actually looks like he's going to be in the money this year. So, just have to wait around a year and everything will be all right. But 7:05 remaining here at the World Series of Poker main event. Like I said, it has just been an unreal run of eliminations, and if it wouldn't have been for the TV cameras, I don't think there's any doubt we would have hit the money last night. It would have been very very difficult to not do that. Some of what we have coming into today's field, of course, like we said, has been whittled down somewhat since we got going here. I want to go down to some of the lower stacks that we still had in there. JJ Liu is still alive in there. Ben Palmer, Tiago Nishijima. Some of the guys in the middle of the house right now. Michael Binger at 234. Daniel Lai just chipped up a little bit ago, so he started the day at 216. Corey Kilpatrick has a bracelet in this series. He's at 210 to start the day. Hassan Habib at 207. Also, Jeff Madsen in there, Abe Masori, and Maria Mayrink, who has been getting a little bit of attention here, is in. Of course, Huck Seed was in that group. He is out. Some of your other significant stacks, significant players, Phil Ivey, Brian Townsend is in there, Isaac Barron, Eddie Sabat, Morgan Popham is at 603, was started at 603, Kenny Tran, Ali Islami, John Kabaj, Griffin Benger, Dan Smith, who has already done some damage in there, and David Tuthill, some of your higher level pros. Let's get to, and coming into today, we had the chip leader was Andrew Liperace. Well, I think we'll go with Liperace. 1.128 million chips. So 3 players now have cracked that barrier. Merdad Yusuf Jadev at 1.12 million. Raul Mestre at 988. Jesse Wilkie at 975. Scott Blackman 935. And Doni Lara Sanchez at 911. Stephen Grainer, and that's interesting to see that name, of course, because we remember Stephen Grainer from earlier in the World Series, where he came into the Millionaire Maker with final table with an 8 million chip lead and lost it. But Grainer back in action here at 891,500, so starts today in the top 10 in the main event. Per Carlson at 883. Rasmus Larson 850,500. Along with Roman Valerstein at 850,500. Those were your top 10 going into this afternoon. Let's see if we get a couple more updated chip counts while the players are taking that break. Of course, this would have been their end of night last night, but they get the break here. And let's see, of course, we mentioned Phil Ivey making the bust out on Robert Gaudio, going for the flip and takes it down. And Ronnie Barta has doubled up. So Barta goes to 81,500. He gets in a hand with Eric Cloutier, and they're about even right now. But Ronnie Barta trying to, once again, set the record for 5 consecutive main event cashes in there. It's a nice run for Ronnie Barta. One of our chip leaders, Mehrdad Yusufzadeh cracks some aces with a queen 9 ball and knocks out Edward Boyce. Boy, some tough hands taking place in there. Let's see. We did have some queens actually hold up. Daniel Miles getting on Andrei Zaichenko. Miles goes to 180,000. Of course, some of the other big names that made it through here today. We look at the Bahuja brothers, both of them, Vinny and McCool, just been having a great couple of years, especially both those guys this year have been outstanding, and both of them are still alive in there as well. Only one November 9er left from last year, and that is Mark Newhouse. So Newhouse, who kind of sneaked in there last year, all of a sudden finds himself making another run at this one. So let's see. Yeah, and Casino Examiner in the chat box, by this way, Kev Math is not allowed behind the ropes of the main event since he played it. That is the dumbest freaking rule ever. Actually, we had something said to our friend Jesse Caps, who's actually now gone, but he was on our team and played the main event, got busted, and went behind the ropes. But that is ridiculous. I hope that they have allowed Kevin to stay in there. But someone actually had the nuts to complain about that. What a bunch of garbage. For all that Kevin Mathers does for the game of poker, and to complain that he should not be between the ropes for the main event, after a bunch of players were kind enough to put him in there, Kevin wasn't even planning on playing it. That's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. You guys, we try to help out we as the poker media try to help you guys out in the room, and for someone, to kind of spit in Kevin's face after everything he does, that's terrible. I'd love to find the guy that actually said that a little while ago. Not, of course, our guy in the chat box, because the examiner is kind of goofing around there. But that actually did happen. So, pretty stupid. Pretty stupid. That's not a way to get on everybody's good side. Let's take a look at, do we have any more? Let me get the chip counts here. Because, of course, there's a lot of other great players left in this field. But the numbers have kind of dwindled down a little bit in terms of recognizable numbers or recognizable players here in this thing. And let me go to the chip counts here. We'll just hit this one. And, of course, so once again, I'm Mark Hoke, and we're live here at the World Series of Poker main event, as these players are currently trying to get into the money. We're very, very close. Very close. 708 left. 693 are going to cash. So there's going to be a lot of happy people in that room pretty soon. But I know one of the chip leaders is actually complaining about players stalling at the table. Well, you just got to call the clock. If it upsets you that much, you got to call it. We now, according to current chip counts, have 7 players over the 1 million chip mark. We have a current new chip leader, Jack Schanbacher, out of Pittsburgh, PA. 1.2 million. Yusuf Zada is in second now, 1,196,500. Jesse Wilkie at 1.178 million. Andrew Lipares at 1.17, or a little over 1 million. 1,050,000 actually. Stephen Grainer also listed at 1,050,000. Because of Dan Smith's big hand early, he goes to 1,020,000. Rasmus Larson at 1 million. Raul Mestre at 988,500. Clayton Ham 945. Scott Blackman 935. Some of your notables, Griffin Benger is now at 900,000. He continues to move up a little bit. David Tuthill taking a little bit of a hit, but not much. He goes down to 850,500. Some of your other names, Kenny Tran, currently listed in 29th place at 728,500. Ali Islami at 650,000. Ivy at 644,500. One of our top women in the field right now, Marcia Kuntz, stands at 642,500. I keep going down. Morgan Popham, of course, was a runner-up in a bracelet event earlier this year at 603,500. Eddie Sabat at 597. Isaac Barron, who was leading this tournament for quite a while, has pretty much stabilized his chip stack, hasn't gotten too far. He stands at 585,000. And let's see what else we've got here. Mark Herm is at 543,000 right now. And Mike Sowers, top online player, and of course, runner-up in a bracelet event this year, 529,000. So he's hanging in there well. Abe Masuri listed at $500,000. Mikul Pahuja, 487,000. Jared Blesnik, 479. And we'll keep going, get you these notables. Konstantin Puchkov at 457. Vinny Puja is at 439. And keep going. Newhouse at 423,500. Leif Force is at 414,000. Waxman's at 405. And this is the interesting part because running down through here, not a lot of names left in this tournament that people are truly familiar with. Vitaly Lunkin is at 372. Keep going down here. Ben Yu at 351. So the professor looking good to get his main event cash. Jeff Madsen at 350. And that's out your top 200. So really not, once again, not a ton of big names left in this tournament. There's still some good ones there, though. Did see Michael Binger, I believe, still in here. He's hanging out. Keep rolling down through the list here. Let's see, Byron Caverman, of course, we just heard about him earlier. He goes to 325,000. Let's see who else we have. Kevin McPhee at 306. Hilton Laborde is still in there. Congratulations, everybody. 302. Maria Mayrink, 293. Looks like the doors have opened. They're letting the players back into the Amazon room. So everybody's rolling in there. Rhett Porter, the camera kicker, at 281,500. Randy Oles at 270. Kevin Eister, bracelet winner this year, 266.5. Tony Hashem at 265. Who else are we looking at here? Just keep going down, because you guys, of course, want to know who the notable pros are left in this thing. Brian Yoon is at 240. Michael Binger, 234.5. Paul Pierce, asking if Paul Pierce is in. Pierce busted yesterday, so everybody can remove their lips from the buttocks. Let's see. Who else we have? Jonathan Little, 220,000. So Jonathan Little in there. Jason Wheeler, 217,000. Hassan Habib still in there, 207,500. And that gets us through your top 400. So, man, I'll tell you, this is going to be pretty interesting because we may have some fairly inexperienced players getting into this thing late. Mike Waddle, 192. Brian Devonshire, 191. And Maria Ho still alive in there, 182,500. John Andres at 180,500. Alex Althred at 180. Lisa Tehan, that's I believe that's Joe's wife, is at 179,500. Faraz Jaka, 178. Brian Hastings is still in, 167. John Manette, 162,500. Kyle Bowker is still in there at 160. John Jawanda hanging on at 154,500. Manik Lozer at 150,500. Let's see. David Einhorn still in the field at 140,000. How about that? Barry Hutter still in there, 128. And like I said, just bear with me for a second. We're just trying to find all your notables here so you guys can follow your favorite players that are still left in this tournament. Ugh, not many in that group either. Considering I'm saying all past main event winners eliminated, there goes the poker is a game of skill argument down the toilet. No offense, but you're wrong on that. Come on, it's a massive poker tournament. Things happen in there. There's not that many main event champions available. But it is shocking that none of them cashed. That I will say. That's just a very odd occurrence. Let's see. We'll keep going here. Max Pescatori still alive at 97,000. Dario Sammartino, 95,500. Duck Win at 94,000. Keep going. Thayer Rasmussen is at 84. Ronnie Bartelis at 81,500. Eric Cloutier is at 80,000. Just keep on going here. I'm sure there's probably a few that I missed, but see, Ryan Teppen, Run Good Gear Pro, still in there at 46,500. So Teppen in there. See, you come on the Mark Hoke Show on KLAV Wednesday at 3:00, and off you go. And those are most of your notable players in there. Like I said, a lot of the bust outs coming with. Let's see. So checking over that list. Like I said, I think we pretty much hit the notables, like Huck Seed and Ben Hamnet. Mike Dentale going down today. But already a large group of players eliminated from this tournament. But we will be headed back in here shortly. Very close to the money at this point. And double check our updates on our player count. And wow. Now everybody's rushing back in. Just pray to God, don't hit the camera. Don't hit the cone. Let's see if they can figure it out. All right. But wow, we do have a penalty issued. A penalty has been issued in there. Over 10 minutes into this is, wow. 10 minutes into the break, Ari Melikayan finishes a dispute with the tournament staff after he got issued a 1-round penalty for exposing his hand with action pending. 3 different floor staff ruled that Melikayan would have a 1-round penalty despite only having 51,000 chips left in the stack. Staff explained to Melikayan that one can't take into account the size of a player's stack when making a ruling. Melikayan, upset with the ruling, requested to escalate things to Jack Effel for an appeal. Effel comes over, and his appeal falls on deaf ears. And a penalty for Ara Melikayan with 51,500 chips left. Blinds are at they were at 2,000, 4,000. Should be going up 3-6 next. So that's kind of a tough break, but certainly does avoid having you not have to make a tough decision there. But wow, that's rough. So 10-hand, 1-round penalty right there. Dude can't be happy about that. But one part of this situation, of course, when we get to the money bubble is, of course, players are trying to kind of bash people over the head and take advantage of it. But you do need to understand something here that, I heard somebody saying a little while ago that everybody that has 75,000 chips and below is in trouble, and that's definitely not true. Coming into play here, 75,000 chips with a 2,000, 4,000 blind level is still enough to play with for a little bit. You are, once you start getting your M under 10, and of course your M is how many chips it's going to cost you per rotation to play. So that in that situation, it's going to cost you 2,000. It would cost you 2,000 for the small, 4,000 for the big. So there's 6. And if you're playing 9-handed, throw in another 4,500. So it's about. So you're looking at about 11. So you still have a little bit of play left there. It's not much, but you certainly would would prefer to to be sitting over 10 big blinds in this thing. But at 75,000, there's still enough to do a little damage here. And there's still enough to put a little fear in people. So I would say, looking at those numbers, if I was in the 50,000 range, then I'd definitely be concerned. But for right now, I think 75 would have been okay. Now I think 75 goes in that bad range when you go up to 3-6. Obviously, that's pretty devastating. But when you play a tournament, especially with this type of structure, you can't overestimate where your quote unquote trouble point is. You have to understand you've got 2-hour blind levels in there. Plus you're going hand for hand here shortly. So it's not like having 75 or 80,000 at that point is horrible. It's not where you want to be, obviously, but it's not that bad. Start doing your math, kids. You'll be okay. You just have to have a fundamental understanding of poker. Wow, that is unbelievably a penalty on the money bubble. Wow. All right, we're going to step back because, of course, we should be getting here to the money pretty shortly, and hoping Joe's going to get here any time, and we'll get him joining us here. And we'll stay probably, I don't think this will drag out past where we have for showtime, but if it does, we're going to hang around, have some fun, because, of course, it's one of the great moments here at the World Series of Poker where everybody gets to go a little bit crazy and have some fun, because they'll have cash in the main event here at the WSOP, and we can start getting to really thinking about who's going to be the next world champion. So let's take a break, and we'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show, live from the World Series of Poker. Stick around. We'll be right back. The Canadian Poker Tour returns to Calgary, Alberta, Canada for the CPT Summer Showdown July 24th through August 3rd at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. With 10 big events over 11 days featuring over $500,000 in guarantees, it promises to be one of the most exciting events on the summer poker calendar. Plus, the Mark Hoke Show will be there live from July 31st through August 3rd for coverage of the CPT Summer Showdown High Roller and main event. For the full schedule and outstanding hotel and flight discounts, just visit CanadianPokerTour.tv. That's CanadianPokerTour.tv. See you in Calgary July 24th through August 3rd at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino for the Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown.
RunGoodGear.com is one of poker's premier online stores for apparel. Their mission is to provide poker players with stylish and comfortable clothes for their daily grind. You've probably seen Run Good Gear at the World Series of Poker through Run Good Poker Pro Rob Salaburo, or around the country through the WSOP circuit. Today, RunGoodGear.com is the place to go to gear up for the poker fell. So go there now with the promo code HOKE. That's HOKE for 10% off your entire online purchase. Remember Hoke. Now go gear up.
When it comes to custom poker tables, why would you buy something someone else designed and even named for their sales or marketing purposes? The Nighthawk, the Gambler, the Big Slick, the Nuts. Sure, you can customize it if you want, as long as you choose between black, red, or even green cloth, but that's about it. When you choose to play off tilt, it's not just another table, it's your table. The same price gets you a fully custom designed table that reflects your style and game. Off tilt makes it easy to design a truly one-of-a-kind custom poker table that'll give you home table advantage. Sure, Off Tilt could name their tables for marketing purposes, but why? It's not ours. We don't play on it. And to be honest, there are over 1,000 named Off Tilt tables worldwide, including the WSOP, the Deep Stacks Poker Tour, the Jonathan Papelbon, as well as Julie's, Chris's, Scott's, Amber's, Tristan's, just to name a few. So let us add your name to the list and deliver a truly custom-crafted, furniture-quality poker table worthy of your game. Visit www.offtiltpokertables.com or call Brian Knott today at 262-490-3812. We'll show you why Off Tilt is the only way to play.
Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at DoubleDigitCovers.com. Stop guessing and start winning today at DoubleDigitCovers.com.
Call now for today's free winner. 1-855-489-2700. That's 1-855-489-2700. good.
At Team Poker Joker, we build innovative, high-performance, poker-focused apparel designed to keep you cool and calm in tough situations. Wait, no we don't. We've just got a cool brand representing the suits of this beautiful game called poker. Our gear won't make you better, but it will keep a smile on your face. So don't be so serious and show you know how to have fun. Get your Poker Joker gear today at TeamPokerJoker.com. Grin and win today at TeamPokerJoker.com.
9 poker players on a dramatic path to glory with unbelievable twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the Final 9 comic from Room 110 Publishing. Go to final9comic.com to download the first issue preview and get ready for the official launch coming soon. 9 will become one way or another. Final9comic.com. And for more details, make sure to follow them on Twitter and like them on Facebook at Final9Comic.
The heat is on. Whether you're in the hot seat of a major poker tournament or just dealing with everyday life, stay cool with a brand new Arctic Blue cooling towel. Just wet your reusable and durable Arctic Blue cooling towel in cold water and you'll have instant cooling relief at your fingertips for up to 5 hours. The towel is lightweight and pliable, so you can keep it handy no matter where you are. Plus, it's absorbent enough to make sure you and your clothes stay dry while you stay cool. No need to sweat it out, no matter what you're doing, when you have an Arctic Blue cooling towel handy. So get the same cooling towel used by professional athletes, poker players, first responders, physical therapists, U.S. automakers, and even reality TV stars. So what are you waiting for? Visit them today at arcticblu.com and pick yours up today. Plus, enter the discount code MarkHokeShow when you check out and get 15% off plus free shipping to keep some of your cold hard cash in your wallet. It's like the Arctic Blue Bear says, it's not cool to be hot. So pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel today.
Poker players, it's time to check out DeegePoker.com. Deege Poker is the unique and clever choice for a new generation of true grinders. Representing the full spectrum of poker players from the novice to the world champion, a true Deege player gives their heart and soul for countless hours at the tables to be the best. And Deege Poker apparel shows everyone who you really are on and off the felt. So join the new generation at DeegePoker.com. That's DEEG Poker.com. Deege Poker, the world's newest poker apparel store.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Alrighty, everybody. Welcome back to the Mark Hoke Show. Hello, Big Sexy over here. That's what I'm just calling him from now on. You might want to turn that mic on there, Joe. Yeah, headphones, mic. I know you're all discombobulated.
He's got running around town here in 105-degree weather.
I'm sorry. I gave you a tip.
Anything for you, my buddy.
You all right?
See how much you gave me.
I can barely hear you, Joe.
Really?
There, that's better. Thank
Okay.
you. That's much better.
Okay.
So we're back. By the way, a little bit of controversy.
And I'm not involved in it. How's that?
Stunning. First, an earlier hand, we actually had a joker get pulled out on the river.
What happened? Oh, I saw that.
Got dealt on the river.
I saw that.
That's not good.
We
that's
had
bad
two,
timing.
We had two queens, two Queen of Hearts, yeah, on an Omaha board.
But how the hell does a joker get into the deck? I thought they took those and just shredded them. They didn't even get.
How long was it in the deck, and it just happened to come out?
I don't know. That's interesting. But a joker.
And this happened last night?
No, this morning.
Happened this morning?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you're getting close to the money bubble, and a joker shows up on the river.
And they just...
I've been like, yes, that's mine.
From what I understand, they just burnt the card and put out another one. And move forward.
Wow. Could you imagine getting dealt the joker? Would you?
I've been dealt the joker many times.
Would you keep the joker if you were playing in the... You're in this situation, you're having some fun, and but you're on the money bubble. Would you keep the joker and then show it afterward and say, "Look, I've got what I need."
Well, if you okay, there are some people who think, well, you can angle shoot here. You can push all in, and if the guy folds, you can just mark your hand. But that's not the case here at the World Series.
No,
you have to turn your hand over. So, when the blinds being, I want to say it's so big now because this is a great structure. I played in this tournament, and the structure is incredible. You never feel really pressured unless you're absolutely down to 1 or 2 blinds because it moves so slow. But you want to get in as many hands as possible. So delaying there and then turn over the joker. If you want to do it for a laugh, go right ahead. But you might be frowned upon.
Yeah, you might get yelled at a little bit.
Well, there's a guy, and I read this either in the I think I read it in a WSOP reports. There's a guy who's really short. He's got like 40K, and he's taking his whole entire 2 minutes to play his hand.
Oh,
and when I don't want to say nicely asked, but when asked by fellow table mates to if he could speed up his play a little bit, I mean, he's not going into the tank when someone makes a bet into him. He's going into the tank even after he looks at his hand. He will not look at his hand until it's his turn, which is his right. Okay, he claims he doesn't want anyone to get a read on him. But even after he looks at his hand, he takes the entire 2 minutes to fold. And a lot of players who are somewhat don't have as many chips as others are really getting annoyed at this. And
yes.
They call the floor over. The floor informed the players that it's within his right to take his 2 minutes. But the floor did say, "Come on, boys, let's play some poker."
I just start calling the clock.
It doesn't matter.
That's what I do. I'd start calling the clock.
And the clock's by the time the floor comes over.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, so you call the clock at what point?
Well, if he's tanking it up like that every hand, you know what I might consider doing? 5 seconds. Call it.
Well,
He
okay.
looks at his cards and call clock.
All right. So
you do that one time, and I guarantee he's not gonna go in the tank again.
But okay, by the time the floor comes over, and then when the floor comes over, they're going to give him a minute. We're still basically at the 2 minute mark anyway. So I mean, I don't think you're really going to accomplish anything by doing that.
But if he's tanking let's say he's tanking for 2 minutes. Then if you wait to call the floor after 2 minutes, then he's going to get another.
No, I understand that, but if he in fact acts upon his hand one way or the other, either folds, calls, raises, within 2 minutes, if you call the clock on him, it would be unreasonable to call the clock on him 5 seconds when the action gets to him. So by the time the floor comes over and the floor is going to ask the dealer, how long has he been waiting for? And if the dealer says the action just turned to him, I don't think the floor is going to give him the clock right away. In other words, because and I've seen a situation before when someone does call the clock, and it doesn't happen that often here. We're all playing for a lot of money. The floor will come over and say to the dealer, "Has he had enough time? How long has he been thinking about this?" And if the floor says it just became his turn, I don't think the floor is going to start running the clock on him immediately, unless the floor stands there and watches this player repeatedly. You want something funny?
A tweet from Andrew Feldman on this very subject. Short stack trying to stall at table. Clock being called repeatedly, so apparently it's happening. Floor gives warning. Player stalls folding by asking many questions.
Nice. I believe and we're really close to the money, and it's about an $18,000 money bubble. And the player in question has said he paid his $10,000 and he's going to take whatever time he deems appropriate to play the hand. So, I guess there is some sort of argument. It's not playing fair, but if he does have 2 minutes, he does have 2 minutes.
Yeah, and Dan Smith in there, of course, who's near the top of the board, not happy with something that happened here as we were coming back from break. I am quoting Dan here. Fucking embarrassing at WSOP. They deal 2 hands when literally 100 players are locked out of the Amazon room. Oops. That's
really?
not good.
Well, how did they get locked out?
I have no idea. That's
I'm looking here to see if the doors are open.
Yeah, they're open. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this tweet went out a little while ago.
Okay.
About 13 minutes ago.
They did restart at 12 noon, and did they close the doors for any particular reason?
No, they had a break.
Yeah.
They got an early break, so apparently they were coming back. I don't know what happened, but we'll find out.
It's possible that that's a misinterpretation of the people. I don't think players are locked out The doors are shut when they go on break.
Yeah, I don't know. But
They shouldn't be on break anyway. They started at 12 today,
well,
right?
they got a break because they stopped the clock early last night.
Oh.
Yeah, they
I
stopped early
understand.
last night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but the doors are closed. The room is locked. All players and spectators must leave when the tournament's on break.
Oh, my God.
But once the tournament is within like 5 minutes before the break is over, the doors reopen and the players and spectators are allowed back in.
Yeah, who knows what happened? I'll check with Dan on that. But there were some upset
Jack,
people.
a picture of Jack Eiffel?
That is Jack Eiffel with a GoPro camera. Of course, those I tell you, they're really nice cameras. By the way, the GoPro camera, so you can kind of wear it while you're mobile and running around. And Jack is now put one on his lapel.
And is this for ESPN?
I have no idea what the hell he's doing. That would be my guess. I mean, maybe people are, it's a chance to follow Jack Eiffel around. We should be live streaming the Jack Eiffel camera.
Now, I know you don't really get much of a chance to get inside the room because you're always outside holding down the fort, so to speak, and your Cubs, and I'm one of your Cubs, obviously. We get the ability. You're laughing? I'm not one of your Cubs?
I never thought of
you like the Papa Bear.
I never thought of you as a
Mark
Cub.
Hoke's the Papa Bear, and I'm one of your Cubs along with many other little Cubs that you have running around here and going into the room and coming back and feeding you up-to-the-date information, which we'll probably be the only ones that be able to do that once we get down to really maybe the final three tables where, they might go on WSOP.com and get reports, but it's not going to be instantaneous. We're going to be able to provide instantaneous updates.
You betcha.
So as one of your Cubs, I get to freely move around here, but you don't as much.
No.
The Papa Bear's got to stay and protect the cave, so to speak.
Do I get Mama Bear peeling?
I don't know. Do you want her?
Yeah, she'd be all right.
Okay. I lost my thought.
I
was
totally threw you off on there. How about that?
Yeah, you did throw me off.
Yeah, but
what were you talking about?
Yeah, but we'll be getting ready for the bubble to burst here in just a little bit. Alan Cunningham is busted out, so no Cunningham cash. So the big names continue to fall here at the World Series Poker main event, but Alan Cunningham has been sent to the rail.
When you see well-known players, I know what I was going to say. By the way, I'll get back to that at a point in the subject. I firmly believe you will never see a back-to-back champion in this event. I firmly believe you may never see the same person win this event more than one time anymore. I mean, years ago, yes,
it's gonna be hard.
It's just, it's an incredible grind, and there's just so many obstacles to traverse, so to speak. I mean, you can look at guys like Negreanu, who had a ton of chips, and Ivy had a ton of chips, and now all of a sudden Negreanu's out. Ivy took somewhat of a big hit to his stack. Former champions are just falling by the wayside.
None left now.
None.
Huxley's
out then, obviously, right?
Yep,
he was the last one, yeah. So he must have went out relatively early this morning. He was the last standing champion. Wow.
Yeah, so none cash this year. Apparently, clock. We're getting reports coming from the room. The clock is being called all over the place right now.
Oh, really?
So
people are just.
I don't remember that last year happening quite as much, where everybody was calling the clock. I was actually standing in the room at the time when the bubble hit, and I don't remember hearing many clock calls. So I don't know if it's just that a couple of people started it, and everybody's just kind of hopping on board or what. But
okay, let me ask you this question: If we're this close to the bubble and you have a really, really healthy stack, do you really care if they're slowing it down?
If I have a really healthy stack, I probably do care, to be honest with you, because if I have it, I can because you're taking away chances for me exploiting the money bubble and maybe picking up some extra chips, maybe knocking a couple people out. Because my goal, if I've got a good stack, is I want to be the world champion.
All right.
So if I'm not getting the chances to take people out and eliminate players, pick up chips, you're hurting me.
So what you're saying is that people who are very, very short stack right now are being real selective about what they play, and if they limp in, they might be easily moved off the hand. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Because I think if you're a real short stack right now, You shouldn't be putting any chips in unless you're prepared to play for all of your chips.
Right, exactly.
Because you're going to get a big stack.
It's
just going to try to come over the top
yeah,
on you.
it's a pretty simple decision at this point. Feldman is in reporting another clock call. Staff ready to stand at table and implement 10-second timer.
Wow.
So they're not messing around in there, kids. Saying stalling out of hand with 701 left. So apparently someone started this and has gotten around. But like I said, I don't remember this happening the last few years where we had that kind of stalling going on here at the main event. So right now 7:01, even though I'm going to keep sliding up here. Let me check and see if
and the bubble is 693.
Yep, down to 700 now.
So we're 7 away from the bubble. Are they going hand for hand yet?
I don't know. If you want to look, you
Are
can.
you going to send one of your Cubs in there?
I can send a Cub in. 699. Excuse me, Kevin. Just
okay.
put that up 12 seconds ago.
So we're down to six from the bubble. The point I was going to make before, since you're kind of Papa Bear's kind of strapped down to the little cave here. Did you get? I know you didn't get to see this, but ESPN was filming the Nuts.
Yeah.
A segment called the Nuts that they're going to air during the World Series playback.
698.
Okay, and I wonder if they're going to do the Bubble Boy gets a $10,000 entry.
Yep.
They do that.
Yep.
That's going to stand it. You didn't get to see, but I'm sure you heard about the antics that were being portrayed on the ESPN stage between Helmut Matiso, Lane Flack, not Lane Flack, Jennifer Tilly's boyfriend, Phil Lack. And a lot of people were just saying they look like bumbling idiots running around the stage there like little kids. I don't know. Did you get any feedback on that?
I have not gotten any feedback on that.
I'm wondering, because according to the tweets from the players that were doing the shoot, they said they
5 away.
They had a ball, and maybe I should go in and tell you how the Bubble Boy broke out.
Sure.
You know, it's going to be hard, though. I mean, because there'll probably be a couple all-ins at the same time. So let me do that.
Okay.
This way, we'll be the first to report exactly the hand that the Bubble Boy went out on.
Yep. So for 5 away, so we should be at 698 right now.
Okay.
So pretty cool.
I feel like
stuff.
I'm at Times Square at New Year's Eve, and the ball is about to drop.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, isn't it? It's
5 away.
It's a hootenanny.
So do you think that you know what? Let me go in and find out if they're actually hand for hand right now.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. Cool. So Joe's going to give us an in-the-room report.
I got to get paper and pencil to record the hand. I'll be right back.
You can do that. All right. So five players away from the money bubble here at the World Series of Poker main event. Casino Examiner saying, "Don't go, Joe," but no, this is what everybody's supposed to be here for. We're all running around having a good time. So we get ready for the Casino, stop it. Jeez, tell you what. We're here on the Mark Hoke Show live as we are getting ready for the money bubble to burst here at the World Series of Poker main event. This is going to be, obviously, it's a very special moment in there as, I'll hear the cheers. But Joe is getting ready to lay the smack down and run around and get us the information that we need. Actually, all my pens have gone poofski, so Joe's going to go on a pen hunt, too, it looks like. Lizzie Harrison in the leather jacket. Wow. Hey. All right, so money bubble getting ready to burst here at the World Series of Poker. So once again, we're just kind of hanging in there, and we'll keep an eye open on what's going on here. And looks like, we got a nice tweet from the guys at Run Good Gear. Flipper Fair in the chat box. I would fake a heart attack in order to stall. Nah, you don't need to do that. But like I said, we do have 4 Run Good Gear pros still in there. Justin Gardenhire is in there. Ryan Teppen still in. Hoosier Wynn still in there. And all these guys were hanging out in the Run Good Gear booth. That was pretty smart. And Joey Hebda, God, I'll tell you what. Is all those 4 guys still hanging around there in the main event here at the World Series of Poker. So nice showing for the Run Good Gear team. Good job, fellas. Way to go. All right, so Joe's going to be hanging out on the inside there, and we will, of course, bring that moment to you when it happens. It is going to be live here. Matt Waxman with the Let's see, Aaron Robbins on Twitter saying, Matt Waxman, this is the first-hand history I think I actually enjoyed reading about on Twitter. God, I'd have to look and see what that was. So, once again, we are at least 5 away. We're kind of keeping an eye on it. We have Joe Payne in the room, taking a look at what's happening. All right, and, of course, once again, on the money bubble here at the World Series of Poker, just a couple of hands away from a great quest for so many amateur players. And, of course, the pros want to hit this one, too. They've, obviously it's the one you work for all this time. Once you hit that moment, it's all over. Look at this guy. What's up, Tom?
What's up, man?
You doing anything?
Are you on the air?
Yeah. You want to say hi?
Sure.
Here, let's get Thomas Keeling in here. Seriously serious. He's the man. Finally got him on the show. What's up, brother?
Not much, man. How are things?
Good. Money bubble time.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting stuff, huh?
Yeah, I just got in. I thought we were about to have a break. So apparently I'm like an hour and a half off. What's been going on with that?
Huckseed out.
Yeah.
Cunningham's out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's apparently a lot of clock calls and stalling going on in there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't remember that being so bad the last couple of years, but apparently this year everybody's tweeting that it's ridiculously out of hand in there. I mean, that's a pretty tough situation to deal with, aren't?
Well, I think stalling is fairly standard when the bubble is approaching. What I heard was that there was some kind of confusion and hoopla with people getting locked out.
Yeah.
People got locked out. Orbits were missed. An impromptu break happened, which I guess is why we're all behind schedule. There goes Tatiana.
Yay.
But yeah, so that totally wrecks my internal plan because I'm conditioned. I'm on a set. Every day there's events at noon. I know breaks are gonna happen at 2:00, and then another one at 4:20, and then another one around 6:40. So I'm just bewildered, and I've got nothing to do for the next hour and a half.
Wow. Really?
Pretty much.
Wow. Well, you can hang out with us.
I do have some footage I can work with. So.
All right. So once again, hanging out on the mobile. So so how's your World Series been? This is the first time I got to talk to you on the show. What's been going on with you guys?
It's been crazy because last year I had 2 cameramen helping me out. I was brand new to this sort of work. I had, I knew very little about operating cameras. It was my first real job as far as doing video editing. It had been purely a hobby before that. So last year I was totally thrown into the fire, a little in over my head. But after that, the past year, I've gotten a lot better and more efficient. I've learned, about photography and have been doing it on my own this year. So I've been a one-man crew this year, doing about 3 videos a day. And
there you go.
I think I got it under control. I got the hang of this.
Nice.
This poker video thing. Just this morning, I posted the rap battle. I don't know if you heard about that, but the Source was in town, and Alex Fitzgerald, the Assassinato, amateur, very interested in rap, decided to battle like a 4-time world battle champion. Guy's got a long resume, a veteran in the rap battle community, who's also a big poker enthusiast. So that came out today, which is really exciting.
Nice. Well, we'll have to check that out. So where can we find this exciting video?
It's all on bluff.com, my employer, Bluff Magazine.
There you go.
Bluff.com.
A rap battle.
Yeah.
Did you think you were going to be covering a rap battle when you came to the World Series this year?
They were talking about it last year and couldn't quite make it happen. So, yeah, they've been, trying to do this for a while now. So, it was kind of in the cards. I didn't think it was going to be as big as it was. We got, Bruce Buffer to announce rapping in this corner.
Nice.
And in the blue corner. And, it's time to rap. It was weird. It was surreal. It was surreal.
Sounds like
Bruce
it.
Buffer introducing a rap battle. Alex totally blew me away. I thought he might be a little timid and nervous, but he wasn't. Pete Thesaurus, veteran guy, I totally expected him to kick ass, and he did. Can I curse on here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're not on the real radio right
We're
now.
not on
so
the terrestrial radio. You're going to edit this later, right?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
No. Hey, it's impromptu.
Yeah.
We just go for it here. We are hand for hand in the main event, so somebody's going to be real happy, and somebody's getting a 10K buy-in and have to wait till next year to give it a shot.
Yeah, last I heard there was 700 left, so we must be getting real close.
Yeah, we were down to 5, and reporting right now we've got hand for hand. Jonathan Little saying we're also hand for hand right now, so we're checking to see.
Roughly 696, I'm being told.
I got 696 from Andrew Feldman. So 3 away from ka-ching time.
Yeah, stalling will do you no good now when it's hand for hand.
No
no point.
Yeah.
Stop wasting everyone's time, people.
So what do you do? Let's say you got we were just talking to Joe about this. So you have a big stack in there, and you're in very good shape, and you start seeing tanking going on at the table. You calling the clock?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not. I mean, you're kind of asking the wrong guy when it comes to like actually playing poker. But I don't know why people are so, I don't know, timid or reluctant to call the clock. I would be doing it constantly if people are taking forever. That would just. There's no need to do that. If people are making like legit difficult decisions and need some time, sure, I'll leave them be. But if it's like pre-flop action, or if it hasn't even been raised to you, if it's obvious that you're probably just going to fold or something like that, then yeah, don't waste everyone's time.
I mean, I understand it if you've got 2 or 3 blinds maybe, and you're only going to survive a rotation or 2 tops with what you have in your hand. But I mean, otherwise, you're hurting yourself when you go into that, when you start stalling like that, because at that point, I want to get a hand. I want to have a chance to try and get some chips in play, and see what I can do. But if you're really in trouble, it's one thing. But if you got 8 or 10 big blinds, there's no real reason to stall that out.
Well, my understanding is that stalling, assuming we're not hand for hand, hand for hand, it's completely pointless to stall. But yeah, if it's not hand for hand, I think stalling, at least my understanding, is that it favors the worst players for things to go as slowly as possible, whereas for the more skilled players, it's to your advantage, to your best interest, for things to move as quickly as possible, get as many hands in as you can, and take advantage of your edge playing a little bit deeper.
Yeah. So, of course, once again, Money Bubble coming up here at the World Series of Poker main event. And, well, let's talk about a little bit Bluffs coverage. I mean, you guys, I'll tell you what, some great pieces up on the big board here this year. Did a fantastic job covering this World Series. Guys have to be pretty proud of what you did.
Yeah, I think the writing staff have been doing excellent work. Those guys work really hard. We've got Tim Fioravanti and Paul Orstein, a couple of new people, Christy and Eric, are doing some great work. Lance Bradley, our editor-in-chief, arrived last week. Yeah, those guys putting in some pretty long hours. I've been working pretty hard too, taking 6 days off out of 7 weeks. So, I'm pretty proud of the work we've done and the work that I've done for sure.
What to you are going to be the biggest stories, or if you can come up with an overall theme for this year's World Series, what would it be?
I hope it's not Dan Coleman, because I think that was like the dumbest, blown out of proportion story, and I should have been a non-story, really, not a big deal. If Ivy continues making his run, that's going to be a huge story, especially if he makes another November 9. That would be insane. I think the success of the Monster Stack, the Millionaire Maker, and the little 1-for-1 drop were all massive successes, and each year they've been gradually getting a little more creative with some of these huge field events, and just been tremendously successful. So I suppose we should expect to see more of that sort of thing next year. So many big names have won bracelets. Really sticks out to me. I mean, looking back on previous summers, I guess it's fairly common to see like a dozen or 2 familiar names winning bracelets, but this year it seems like half of the bracelets have been awarded to people that I'm very familiar with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Phelps and Doug Polk, and the list just goes on and on and on. That seems crazy to me. And I don't know if it's just because there's been a lot of smaller field 10Ks that were added to the schedule this year, but really, I mean, some of it's just like Doug Polk's was like just a 1K, and he got through like 2,000 people, so it's not just that. It's really remarkable. Hey,
Joe Payne, by the way, coming out. What's going on, Joe? What do we have? We have some news. All right, here it is. We got Joe coming back out of the room. Just pull that out of there.
All right, they are hand for hand in there. They're down to 2 from the money, and Antonio Luft has pocket 9s, and Gordon Mendes near at table orange 367 has pocket jacks. In a flop comes Jack 9 deuce, set over set. Mm-hmm. And Antonio catches a 9 for quad 9s.
Oh, my God.
Or else he's out of the tournament.
Wow.
A big pot is, real quick, is probably close to 300,000. Antonio was all in with pocket 9s. He flopped the set, but so did Gordon. But the miracle 9 on the turn gives him quad 9s to keep him alive, and they're back to hand for hand.
All right. Wow, that's That's just another one of those crazy World Series of Poker stories. How about that?
So that's like the bubble before the bubble.
Yeah.
Before the stone bubble, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
I
this
think
guy
we're-
doesn't get a consolation prize, but
No.
the next guy to bust does.
Yeah.
So he's the true bubble boy.
Yeah. Wow.
Who was that? Who was that got the bubble?
Oh, God, who was it? Because he's deep. He's actually got a pretty big stack this year. I'm totally blanking on it.
Okay. I'll try and figure it out. Maybe
Yeah.
I should try and talk to him.
Now that's a fascinating hand to get right before the bubble. My God, so a little bit of quads going on there. It was funny. I had an interesting conversation with one online player who had talked about the topic that you mentioned about why are we seeing so many of the top pros winning this year, and one speculation that he had was that since the moneymaker effect happened. And so many players got into the game after that. A lot of them have, at this point, have a 10-year sample where they can say, you know what, I'm not good at poker, and have gotten out of the game, and have opened the doors to add to maybe these guys who have been playing a long time. Plus, you also have the other effect where these guys, the younger players coming up now, haven't had the chance to really get to play the tens of thousands and millions of hands that some of these other pros did. So you kind of have a combination of these guys have the experience and some other players that weren't very good are getting out of the game. Do you think there's some validity to that?
No, I completely disagree.
Okay.
Well, for one thing, some of the big names that have won bracelets this year are those young up-and-comers like Doug Polk, and technically even like Vanessa Selps. I wouldn't lump her in with like that old school crowd. She was an online player before she was a live player. And so people like her. Calvin Anderson, another guy from that group that won a bracelet, and I would consider a big name as he's an online legend. And another thing is that when I'm scouting out the fields, looking for interviews and stuff, I'm seeing table after table after table of people that I don't recognize, that I've never seen before, and maybe like 10%, if that, on most days, are people that I would consider big names that I recognize. So I wouldn't say that there's just like a greater density of famous pros. It's just that's simply not the case. Most of the people that are playing these events are not people that I'm familiar with, and if they were to win a bracelet, I would say, who's this guy?
Yeah.
So I mean, when it comes to the 10K fields, that's certainly the case. They're just loaded with people that you've seen on TV or that have had big results before, people that I've talked to, people that have made the news. But aside from those events, no, it's remarkable that the guys have taken those things down.
Yeah. Kevin's reporting in there. The clock has been paused with 126.46 remaining on level 16. So we're still on hand-to-hand play there. Just got to report Ben Yu. This is interesting. 181K hand for hand, saying 3 from the money 41 seconds ago. Wonder if they considered going earlier / are early because of rampant stalling. So apparently it's really bad in there right now. If Ben's calling them out, yeah.
Well, it's you can't really knock it too much. I mean, like I said before, I would be calling the clock and people doing that, but I can't really blame them for doing so. For some people, they feel it's a strategic advantage to do so. And it's within the rules. Then, by all means, do what you got to do.
Yep. Feldman says tournament staff's counting the seats, make sure we got an accurate number in there before they deal the next hand. So we're hanging on. This is an exciting time. I mean, you get to deal with the poker players all the time, go to all these tournaments. And other than getting to the November 9, I don't know if there's a more exciting moment, here at the World Series at least, than the bubble here at the main event. I mean, it's just it's an eruption of excitement and noise in there. What does it mean how do you feel about these players, their feelings when they make this bubble? I mean, the pros, it's kind of, yeah.
They don't care at all. Well, I mean, they care about the bubble because it's a great opportunity strategically to push around, the recreational players and the amateurs that are really sweating the bubble hard because they want to min cash. But established pros are not looking for a min cash at all. So this is where they like to use their skill advantage and really chip up because people are just buckling down and playing super tight and stalling and doing whatever they can to survive the next few players. So yeah, I mean, nobody's really sweating the bubble as far as min cashing, except for, I guess it's still like 80% of the field. I'm just totally making that up and guessing, but are people that really, really desperately want to min cash this event.
Yep. So we're keeping an eye on what's going on in there. We got Joe Payne in the other room, and we got Thomas Keeling, of course. Seriously serious on Twitter. Where'd you come up with that, by the way?
Long story. Boring story.
It's that bad?
It's a weird story.
Well, that's not shocking.
Yeah. Well, I guess I can tell like a very shortened version of it, but I had a friend who sort of lacked humor, and I like made a character out of him, and it was called Mr. Seriously, and I used to like draw these comics of him with like a completely straight face and like horizontal eyebrows, and like draw him doing really exciting things like riding a roller coaster or winning the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes, holding up like the $10 million check with like complete serious straight face. Nothing. The guy took everything seriously at all times, Mr. Seriously. And I was spelling it the same ridiculous way, SRSLY. And I don't know, I just wanted to like mess around on 2+2 one day. So when I first signed up for the forums, I just took that seriously and then added Sirius, which is a constellation.
Right.
So I was sort of into physics and astronomy at the time. So
there you go.
That's if I go back, I would pick a totally different name because nobody knows how to spell it. It's kind of dumb, but I'm stuck with it now.
That does have to be irritating. I can imagine you say this is my Twitter handle, and then you have to spell it every damn time, don't you?
Yeah. If I could go back and do it again, I would be Max Profits.
That's not bad.
Max MAX Profits with a Z.
Well, see, now you're gonna screw yourself again, putting the Z on the end.
Why?
That's so pretentious.
No. That's not pretentious. That's like that's a rap thing. You know, you use.
I know
Z's instead of your S's.
it's pretentious.
Okay, fine, whatever.
You could put an XZ on the end. Now that would be really bad. Kevin,
All right, how about a $ instead of an S? Max Profits.
I think I'd rather have the $.
Okay.
Because then the chicks will remember that.
Yeah.
They'll think you're rich too. Kevin Mathers, 695. Kevin is reporting. Of course, Kevin, the information director at Bluff Magazine. So we are
$6.94.
693. So I guess we're 2 out.
Okay, so we haven't hit the bubble yet.
Yeah, we haven't hit the bubble yet. Okay, so 2 away from hitting some people getting paid in that room. And just let me go back and take a look at some tournament updates here real fast, just to see what else we've got going on. Looks like Mark Herman, Hassan Habib got in a little bit of a battle there. Herm flopped a set against Habib's jacks, and wow, and that took care of Hassan Habib. Ouch. That's a tough way to go down. Don't necessarily like that. And Dan Smith
got the chip lead.
Dan Smith is apparently taking the chip lead.
Oh,
let's take a look at what happened. Whoa, what is this? This sounds like a crazy little hand. Did he get into with Steven Grainer? Oh my God. Of course, Grainer was the leader of the Millionaire Maker, had an 8 million chip lead, and it got away from him. But apparently he got into it here with Dan Smith. Let's see what was going on here.
That's what you get for tagging with Dan Smith.
Yeah. Smith went all in, and Grainer's side. Grainer tanked. 5 minutes going by. Oh, my goodness. And then he folds his hand. And, wow, this is interesting. Grainer, this gets to the media thing again. Grainer pushed his cards to the muck as the ESPN production staff was about to grab his cards when Grainer freaked out. You're not recording my cards. I paid $400 rate to pay this tournament. You are not filming my cards.
Too bad. You signed a release form, buddy.
Wow.
It's only day 4 anyway. Who cares?
Wow. That's unbelievable. Dan Smith said I was going to show, but now I think that's unfair. Oh, man. He mucked his card. Grainer rails back. He mucked his cards. Now you can't definitely show mine. Oh, it's getting a little testy in there. Wow.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so Grainer lost a big chunk of chips on that, putting Dan Smith in the lead at $1.5 million. Grainer goes down to $745. Boy, that guy's just been on a roller coaster.
Oh, is that your chat room right there, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay, I see some familiar names there. CJ Stat and Flipper Fair.
Yeah, those crazy guys in there.
Nice.
Let's see.
Those are my 2 biggest fans.
Yeah, well, apparently, yeah, you got a big shout out of that. Said Casino Examiner said out of his cave.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I have that's what everyone's been calling my dressing room because that's where I work out of most of the time is a secret location.
Oh, and we've got a ton of players kind of sneaking out of the room here. I don't know if they're just trying to get a bathroom break or if the bubble hit.
Probably means something's going on.
Yeah.
I should get back to work though, Mark. So
hey, well, thanks for stopping in.
Thanks
it's
for
good
having
to
me on,
see
man.
You. Always a pleasure. We got to do this more often.
Yeah, we should.
Call me.
Plan
All right. I'll see you later, buddy. There you go. Seriously Serious. Thomas Keeling of Bluff Magazine. So check out the rap battle on bluffmagazine.com. Should be pretty cool. But wow, we got to... let's see. Okay, so here's what we have. The tournament has been paused with all the dealers standing once their hand is complete so they can go hand for hand again. Wow. And there's a boo-boo. Unfortunately, a dealer in the earnings section began dealing another hand, and wow. So I guess that table's probably just going to get held up for a little while. But so the players got a quick impromptu 5-minute break. And this is high-quality sprinting going on here in the hallway, by the way. So I'd throw that one out. As all these guys, their table's finishing up, and they are running to the bathroom and running back, trying to sneak some sort of break in there. But a wild time here at the World Series of Poker. So apparently we've got rampant stalling going on. We got a little bit of a break here as they're doing a verification on the count of players. We had somebody make an unbelievable mistake. I got to tell you, I've seen a few of the hand for hands here at the World Series main event, and that's unbelievable that somebody made that mistake. Jeez, got to be kidding me. All right, but yeah, Mark Herm knocking out 2 pairs. Maliki Hagan and Hassan Habib going down. All right, and once again, the players kind of trying to sneak in another break. They just got a break a little while ago. Hasn't been that long. But everybody trying to catch their breath here. And some players not happy, I guess. One player just running by saying he missed a hand, so that must have been the whole lockout situation where the doors must have accidentally gotten locked. But pretty interesting spot here. So once again, hand for hand right now at the World Series of Poker. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, and if the bubble does burst, we will make sure to cut in and get right back to it. But let's step back, take a break, and we'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. We are 2 away from the money here at the World Series of Poker, so stick around. We'll be right back.
The Canadian Poker Tour returns to Calgary, Alberta, Canada for the CPT Summer Showdown July 24th through August 3rd at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. With 10 big events over 11 days featuring over $500,000 in guarantees, it promises to be one of the most exciting events on the summer poker calendar. Plus, the Mark Hoke Show will be there live from July 31st through August 3rd for coverage of the CPT Summer Showdown High Roller and Main Event. For the full schedule and outstanding hotel and flight discounts, just visit CanadianPokerTour.tv. That's CanadianPokerTour.tv. See you in Calgary July 24th through August 3rd at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino for the Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown.
The heat is on. Whether you're in the hot seat of a major poker tournament or just dealing with everyday life, stay cool with a brand new Arctic Blue cooling towel. Just wet your reusable and durable Arctic Blue cooling towel in cold water and you'll have instant cooling relief at your fingertips for up to 5 hours. The towel is lightweight and pliable, so you can keep it handy no matter where you are. Plus, it's absorbent enough to make sure you and your clothes stay dry while you stay cool. No need to sweat it out, no matter what you're doing, when you have an Arctic Blue cooling towel handy. So get the same cooling towel used by professional athletes, poker players, first responders, physical therapists, U.S. automakers, and even reality TV stars. So what are you waiting for? Visit them today at arcticblu.com and pick yours up today. Plus, enter the discount code MarkHokeShow when you check out and get 15% off plus free shipping to keep some of your cold hard cash in your wallet. It's like the Arctic Blue Bear says, it's not cool to be hot. So pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel today.
9 poker players on a dramatic path to glory with unbelievable twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the Final 9 comic from Room 110 Publishing. Go to final9comic.com to download the first issue preview and get ready for the official launch coming soon. 9 will become 1 way or another. Final9comic.com. And for more details, make sure to follow them on Twitter and like them on Facebook at Final 9 Comic.
RunGoodGear.com is one of poker's premier online stores for apparel. Their mission is to provide poker players with stylish and comfortable clothes for their daily grind. You've probably seen Run Good Gear at the World Series of Poker through Run Good Poker Pro Rob Salaburo, or around the country through the WSOP circuit. Today, RunGoodGear.com is the place to go to gear up for the poker vote. So go there now with the promo code HOKE. That's HOKE for 10% off your entire online purchase. Remember HOKE. Now go gear up. Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit BlindSquirrelApparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Missouri stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
Poker players, it's time to check out DeegePoker.com. Deej Poker is the unique and clever choice for a new generation of true grinders. Representing the full spectrum of poker players from the novice to the world champion, a true Deej player gives their heart and soul for countless hours at the tables to be the best. And Deej Poker Apparel shows everyone who you really are on and off the felt. So join the new generation at DeegePoker.com. That's D-E-E-G Poker.com. Deej Poker, the world's newest poker apparel store.
Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at DoubleDigitCovers.com. Stop guessing and start winning today at DoubleDigitCovers.com.
Call now for today's free winner. 1-855-489-2700. That's 1-855-489-2700.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Some players going for Olympic trials here as they are looking to make the sprints in and back while hand-for-hand is going on. There are 5 all-ins at this point, reporting Andrew Feldman, ESPN. So 5 players all in on this round of hand-for-hand play. We need to get rid of 3. So a decent chance that we may hit the money bubble, break the money bubble here on this hand. Of course, we've got Joe Payne hanging around inside, and once again, we were the first one to report on those quads. That's what we do here. We're good. See, you have instantaneous coverage on the Mark Hoke Show. You don't have to wait for it to go up on an update. We've got you covered. That's what we do. That's going to be like day 7. Tell you what, if you haven't, a couple of years ago, we got to do play-by-play, but of course they decided they didn't want to let us do that from now on. But we're going to have our staff in the room from start to finish, covering the entire finish of day 7. So you're going to know all the big hands. You're going to know exactly what's going on. We won't be able to do play-by-play, but we're going to be able to give you all the best information on an instantaneous basis, as we're going to have our team ready to go in there on the main event. And more sprinting going on. I'm amazed that no one has gotten racked up going around that corner. We're right on the corner, of course, between the Amazon room and the pavilion room. And, man, these guys just go zinging right by. It's unbelievable. All right, so once again, we are waiting hand for hand here. And Joe Payne is in the let's see, we had oh my gosh, we had another full house losing to quads. Oh my word. We had Queens full just losing to quad 5s. So there's a hand. Wow. And that was an elimination. So we have one player out, quads losing, or Queens full losing to quad 5s. So one out. So looking for 2 players to go. And we should be hitting our money bubble here. And up, we have it. There it is. We actually just need 1 player to go, and it is Queens versus Aces. Aces eliminated, and they are in the money. So congratulations to everybody in there. We are in the money here at the World Series of Poker main event. So everyone in there is going to be picking up some coin. Congratulations to all of you guys. But, wow, a Queens full losing to quads. To have the money bubble, one of the money bubble bursting hands. Unbelievable. But there it is. So we have our money bubble burst here at the World Series of Poker main event. Congratulations to everybody. Way to go. All right, but of course, I think there was still a couple all-ins to go in there yet, so we're going to wait and see how all that comes out because, of course, if more players get eliminated, they split the coin. So we'll find out what's going on there. But we do officially have the money bubble burst here at the main event of the World Series of Poker. So we're seeing a lot of people come out and smiles on their faces and very happy. Congratulations to everybody coming in and out of the room. They are going to be picking up the money today and will forever be able to say that they cashed at the main event of the World Series of Poker. So once again, with the money in place, now that everybody has gotten their coin, we can start counting it down. Everybody here on whoever busts on this first level, everyone is guaranteed $18,406, so they'll get their buy-in back plus $8,400. But excitement, everybody out here, all smiles as the money bubble is burst here at the World Series of Poker main event. So, yes. Hey, there we go. We got a boom. All right, so congratulations, everybody. Yeah, we'll get more information on his hands, but wow, a Queens full getting knocked off by quads, Queens losing to aces, and that did it. So congratulations, everybody. Way to go. And now we start the chase for the World Championship. Now we go, kids. All right, so let's see any more information coming in here. Third all-in has been run. Aces against 9 of diamonds, 8 of diamonds. And the board runs out Queen 8, 5, 7, 9. So the 9, 8, the aces were all in. So we have a third elimination on the bubble. So now we're going to start chopping this up a little bit. And like I said, I think we got 3 down at this point. We did have 5 all-ins on that, so we are waiting to see how that turns out. Of course, if we've lost 3 on this bubble, I think if one more of those guys busts out, they're going to end up chopping one of those shares in the money, which that's never fun. And once again, 3 players out, 2 eliminations hands still to go, but everybody is in the money. So, including Michael Binger reporting in. Of course, Binger was on the final table, if I remember correctly, with Jamie Gold. So Michael Binger is getting pretty excited about having a chance to get in there the last time. Some fun stuff coming up from Andrew Feldman in there as well. So we are waiting to see how that all turns out with this money bubble. And, okay, 4th all in, 9-7-3 flop, queens versus aces. Aces for the all-in player, 10, 10 on the turn, 6 on the river. So that player stays alive. So we have one more all in. Let's see. Looks like David Tuthill is in and reporting that. Let's see. We have who brought in the. Let's see who brought in. Larry Ormson brings in the bottle as he's celebrating at the table already. So congratulations to him, and pretty exciting. Let's see who else. Once again, we are waiting for one more player that was all in on this hand. We lost 3 of the 4, 5, one more to go. And Ronnie Barta, by the way, just a reminder, has also cashed in his record 5th straight main event. So a new record for Ronnie Barta as he cashes for 5 straight years here at the main event. And just hanging on, too. It's a little short stack, but Barta's in there. So Ronnie Barta getting the job done. And let's see. And Faraz Jaka hitting up on the Twitter saying that he's got a guy who made it with 2 chips, 1 big blind, 1 ante. That's the way to hang on in there. Oh, it's something else. All right. So we're waiting for that one more hand to finish up here. But, of course, one of the big hands on here, we had quads. Or we had quads knocking out queens full on the bubble. Oh, that's got to hurt. Let's see. So once again, still waiting one more time. One more hand here. And once again, hanging in there. One more hand before we reach before the money bubble is completely done. Jeff Madsen just tweeting out that he's just made the money in the WSOP main event. Joe Kuther in the money at WSOP main. Time to spin it back up. So everybody's getting pretty excited in there that now it's time to start playing poker again. Corey Kilpatrick reporting in. He's at 270. Feldman aces double on the 4th. One guy just ordered a shot of Jaeger and Patron. There you go. That's how you do it. So once again, still hanging on for that one more hand. And here it is. Last all in a Jack 7 deuce flop. Ace Jack versus Jack 9 of Daniel Lai. Turn 4, River 7. So the Ace Jack player doubles up through Daniel Lai. 3 players out, so that pretty much that takes care of it. We're in the money. It's over, and now we get to see how many people come barreling out of this room picking up the payouts. But there it is. So of course, Ronnie Barta making history here today as he cashes for the 5th straight time here in the World Series of Poker main event. That is a new record. So 3 of the 5 players gone, 2 survive, and they'll keep playing. So, of course, there's going to be a little bit of a stop and play to congratulate whoever ended up being the official bubble boy. So we'll see what happens there. We'll get more information on that as we keep it rolling. Let's see if we've got some updated chip counts for you real quick. Yeah, money bubble, baby. All done. And once again, I'm just going to reset here real quick because I do want to see if we got some new chip counts up there. But it is all over. The bubble is set. And Dan Smith is going to be the guy that once we've reached the money bubble, that will be leading this tournament. Smith at $1.54 million. Jack Schanbacher, 1.2. Merdad Yusufzada, 1,196,500. Jesse Wilkie, 1.178. And Donnie Laraba Sanchez, 1,075,000. Andrew Lipares, 1,030,000. Rasmus Larson, 1 million. So those are players over the top there. We still haven't gotten. Looks like those chip counts really, for the most part, haven't been updated except for Dan and a couple others. So we're waiting to see what's going on. But yeah, hearing a little bit of cheering going up in the room. But as soon, that announcement will be made that everybody's in the money here very shortly. And then this place is going to erupt. But once again, we have reached the money bubble. It has burst, and there's going to be a lot of happy people in that room. All right, of course, Joe Payne is in there. He'll give us an update on what's happening for the main event, and just holding on in there. Yeah, by the way, in case you didn't hear, you missed something. LeBron James, by the way, is going back to Cleveland. That kind of blew up Twitter a little bit this morning. I was having some fun with that. I don't know if Joe wanted to discuss that or not. But some interesting facts about what happens when you're at the top of the board in day 3. It has not been a typically good position. We've talked about the day 2 leader, that they've been able to make some deep runs, but the closest that in the past 5 years, the closest that anyone has gotten when they've been the day 3 leader, Max Coleman, 21st. Patrick Pornier, who had led with 8:52 left, went out in 200th. In fact, and the stat according to WSOP.com, since 2000, only 2 players in the top 10 at the end of day 3 have made the final table, James Aikenhead and Jake Balsiger. So it has not necessarily been a good thing to be at the top of the board on day 3. Of course, it is a very volatile day, especially days like this where everybody's getting in the money, and then you start seeing people playing to try and move up a spot here and there, so it's pretty tricky. According to WSOP.com, the only main event to finish day 3 in the top 100 in the past 5 years was Jonathan Duhamel. He had 411,000, which put him around 60th. Ryan Reese was 446th out of 666 players when he won the championship last year. So pretty interesting numbers in terms of being a day 3 leader, not necessarily beneficial, as most of the time these guys come back. And once again, that bubble, the main event bubble has burst, and we are just waiting around for Joe to come out and give us a little extra report on what's going on. But Kev Math got that out on the Twitter pretty quick, as he usually does. He's pretty darn good at it. But the money bubble is burst, and we'll once again just keep trying to. Gotta love it. That bottle of champagne is really making it around here. And it looks like that these guys are drawing now for where they end up on the bubble. We have first player draw a 6 of diamonds, second player a king of diamonds, third draws a 6 of hearts. So they are, once again, those players high carding for a 2015 main event seat. That's pretty sick. So the King of Hearts player, or King of Diamonds player, is going to get that main event seat. Boy, that's a... You're actually going to get more out of that than you're going to get... then the guys are going to profit in there. Joe Payne. Boy, we had a couple wild ones I saw in there, and we got Ruffles. How'd you get a Ruffles? Are those my favorite kind of Ruffles, too? Are those the barbecue thick-ridged ones? Oh, they're nice. You might want... Yeah, there you go.
Okay, there I go. It is wild in there. There were, I don't know how many all-ins and a call.
5 of them.
5 of them, I believe. I believe I'm going to go with my notes here, and not in any specific order, but on the first table, the big blind was all in with pocket aces, And under the gun +1 had pocket queens, and the aces did hold up on that particular hand. And then this is a pretty sick beat here. On the other all-in hand, we had pocket queens against pocket fives, and the flop came queen 5-8, and the fourth 5 came on my notes. So basically, the gentleman that got eliminated with queens full of fives. He got beaten by quad fives. More notes. Then we had under the gun +2 was all in with aces, and the big blind called with pocket queens, and the flop came 7-9-3 10-6. So the aces did hold up. The big blind who had the pocket queens still has chips, so he didn't get eliminated. And we had, let's see here. Then we had another all in here with ace jack against jack 9, and the flop came jack 7 deuce 4-7. So the ace jack held up and doubled up. But what we had is we had 3 players eliminated on the same hand.
Yep.
Corey Hunter, Sen, I didn't get his last name, and John Durkin. So they're all three are gonna split the bottom prize of 18 and change. But then they brought them over to a table where they high carded.
Yep.
Who gets the high seat? And Corey Hunter drew first and drew the 6 of diamonds. Sen drew the king of diamonds, and John was basically settled to 4 aces or the other 2 kings that would beat the king of diamonds. But he drew the 6 of hearts. So Sen not only wins 1/3 of the 18,000, which is like 6,000 and change, but he gets his $10,000 seat to next year's event, which is kind of sweet.
All right, so there
it's
you go.
It's pretty hectic there. Trying to cover 5 tables at one time. I mean, they did do them in order, and they did it the play-by-play. So, but tables are so crowded, surrounded by ESPN cameras, mics, production staff, reporters. It's just almost impossible to get real closer. But that's pretty much accurately what went down. We're happy here at the Mark Hoke Show to bring you that almost instantaneously for those that are listening in. So
I saw somebody else put up a news post that said, "This guy." Hey, you got the first name of the guy at least. Nice job.
I got this guy? What do you mean?
They put up a post that said, "This guy's your bubble boy."
Oh,
they have a picture in this guy.
Oh, really? Somebody got
that's
that
specific.
quick?
That's very
well,
specific.
there was actually 3 bubble boys, so that's incorrect, though.
Yeah, so
he
there
got
you go.
1 bubble of the 3. So
all right.
pretty hard to get all 3 bubbles.
Yeah, so we're waiting just to get the official name of the bubble boy here, but it is Sen.
Sen something.
So if you know a Sen out there, everybody, he got himself a 10K main event seat
and 6,000 in cash.
Yeah.
So he's not
that's
bad.
That's almost what you would have gotten back if you cashed on this first group. It was about 18.7.
And you laid out 10.
Yeah.
So you get 8. He's getting 6 plus the seat. So
yeah, that's not bad.
He's pretty close.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, but he still has to, even though he has next year's seat, he still has to get to this point to make it for the expected value to be there for him. I mean,
Right.
Does he have a seat that's worth 10? He does, but it's not worth 10 unless you make at least the money bubble.
All right, so there you go.
Actually, not the bubble, but the money.
Yeah. Right. So bubble is bursted, and let's see if we can find. We're waiting for the last one to come in here.
Was that before the WSOP had it up? Did we beat him?
Yeah, KevMath actually kind of beat you to it on
He
Twitter,
did?
but yeah,
Well,
that's all right.
Twitter. But that's not live.
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah,
you have to actually be
we're-
on Twitter to actually see the notification come up. If you're just listening in, we got it to you.
We
baby.
got it. So,
Snap it to me.
so here's some of the. I mean, just to give you some of the names, Mark Newhouse busted John Dwyer, and so the wow. So the gentleman who's trying to get back to the final table, Mark Newhouse, busts John Dwyer, and Dwyer has a full house go into quads against Newhouse.
Yeah, that was the hand.
Rafael Caifa was one of the eliminated ones. Darren Keys takes him out, and that was aces against queens.
Yep.
And then we had Corey Hunter eliminated. Hunter was lost to Harry Coxa. Jeez, that's a tough one. I hate when they have CZK next to each other. That's too many weird consonants. So he is out. Stuart Rudder hung on against Daniel Lai, and it looks like they're still waiting to get that one last bubble hand in there.
I got them all for you.
Yeah,
they're not on WSOP yet, but
yeah, we just need that one.
I didn't get. There was no way I was getting names of the players. I just got the hands basically and the positions that they either called from or pushed all in from.
Yeah. So, but a wild bubble, 5 hands on the bubble.
Yep.
All in. Boy, nobody was.
And the first one was the Queens full of aces losing a quad 5, which is that's got to be crushing.
What a terrible way to go. And then of course you don't get the bubble prize either. I mean that's rough.
I'm curious if the gentleman who had the 40K and was literally taking 2 minutes per hand, I'm interested, did he survive? I'm sure someone is going to get me that information. I don't know who that is, so I can't even check on it. And I don't want to bother the players when they're playing.
Right.
But I'm sure we'll find out whether his stall tactics worked.
All right.
And Casino Examiner, I'm back.
Yes, he's back.
What didn't he want me to leave for?
I don't know. Maybe he likes you better.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I like the Seahawks.
Casino Examiner, a fan of the House of Pain.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, he's a blackjack guy.
Well, yeah.
He's a blackjack guy.
You're just a poker guy,
Yeah. So, once again, the bubble is burst here at the main event, and we also had the draw for the high card to get the main event seat. Those guys got to split a little bit of money, too, so good for them. And so we'll try and get a little more info, and, of course, so we'll get those chip stacks updated for you, too. So let's take one more break before we wrap up our afternoon show.
Wow, it's almost over already.
I know. How about it? Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it, kids? Holy cow. Let's take a break. We'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Thanks for joining us. We're live here from the World Series of Poker. Now they've got to play, kids. So brace yourself. It's going to be a pretty.
You'll see. Before we go, real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're going to see a lot of a lot of pushing now. Ramming and jamming coming up.
Kiss another 100 goodbye. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
The heat is on. Whether you're in the hot seat of a major poker tournament or just dealing with everyday life, stay cool with a brand new Arctic Blue cooling towel. Just wet your reusable and durable Arctic Blue cooling towel in cold water and you'll have instant cooling relief at your fingertips for up to 5 hours. The towel is lightweight and pliable, so you can keep it handy no matter where you are. Plus, it's absorbent enough to make sure you and your clothes stay dry while you stay cool. No need to sweat it out, no matter what you're doing, when you have an Arctic Blue cooling towel handy. So get the same cooling towel used by professional athletes, poker players, first responders, physical therapists, U.S. automakers, and even reality TV stars. So what are you waiting for? Visit them today at arcticblu.com and pick yours up today. Plus, enter the discount code MarkHokeShow when you check out and get 15% off plus free shipping to keep some of your cold hard cash in your wallet. It's like the Arctic Blue Bear says, it's not cool to be hot. So pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel today.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit blindsquirrelapparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Missouri stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
I'm Dutch Boyd, two-time WSOP bracelet winner, and I want to share my story with you. 12 years as a pro has taught me a lot. For the last year, I've boiled it all down into a tell-all book, 90,000 words. In Poker Tilt, I take you on my journey through all the ups and downs that poker has to offer, all the manic highs and hellish lows of every bad beat and lucky draw. So go to www.pokertilt.com to read more, or just go buy the new book on Amazon or Kindle right now, pokertilt.com. I guarantee you'll enjoy the ride.
Poker players, it's time to check out DeegePoker.com. Deej Poker is the unique and clever choice for a new generation of true grinders. Representing the full spectrum of poker players from the novice to the world champion, a true Deej player gives their heart and soul for countless hours at the tables to be the best. And Deej Poker apparel shows everyone who you really are on and off the felt. So join the new generation at DeegePoker.com. That's DEEG Poker.com. Deej Poker, the world's newest poker apparel store.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go? RunGoodGear.com is one of poker's premier online stores for apparel. Their mission is to provide poker players with stylish and comfortable clothes for their daily grind. You've probably seen Run Good Gear at the World Series of Poker through Run Good Poker Pro Rob Salaburo or around the country through the WSOP circuit. Today, RunGoodGear.com is the place to go to gear up for the poker felt. So go there now with the promo code HOKE, that's HOKE, for 10% off your entire online purchase. Remember Hoke. Now go gear up.
9 poker players on a dramatic path to glory with unbelievable twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the Final 9 comic from Room 110 Publishing. Go to final9comic.com to download the first issue preview and get ready for the official launch coming soon. 9 will become 1 way or another. Final9comic.com. And for more details, make sure to follow them on Twitter and like them on Facebook at Final9Comic.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we're back. The House of Pain.
Live reporting.
Over there, getting it done.
Trying. How'd I do?
Very well.
Thank you.
Outstanding work, sir. Zen Kai is your bubble boy for the 2014 World Series of Poker main event. Picking up the main event seat.
He's the official bubble boy.
Yep, he's the official bubble boy.
But there were actually 3 bubbles.
Yeah, a tri-bubble. It was nearly a quint bubble. Turned into a just little less popping. We have a tri-bubble, but Zen Kai wins the draw. He picks up the main event seat. So I don't know if do you say congratulations?
I don't know. I was gonna.
It's kind of a
grab him to bring him out, but then ESPN grabbed him.
Of course.
But I know what he looks like. So if he happens to walk by, maybe he'll give us a minute or two before we go off air.
All right, sounds good.
I don't know.
But so Zen Kai out of there, but
not out of there.
But bubbles.
He will return.
So it's a bittersweet moment for the guy, I'm sure. But at least you get the 10K buy-in seat
I would
to
like
come back.
to have,
So.
I wouldn't. I mean, if I had a choice, I'd rather stay in. But if I had to go out, it's probably the best spot to go out.
Yeah,
and get something anyway.
Yeah, at least you get something. See, so I mean, it's not a bubble. I mean, it's a bubble, but it's not a bubble because you at least get something out of it.
Yeah, because they were
something
free,
big out of it too. That's good.
Know.
Good, not bad.
How do you think the guy that got it in 9s against jacks and was set over set and he caught the fourth 9? Do you think he's feeling real good right now?
I think he's feeling.
He
like
got
I'm
on his
gonna be
hands and knees basically when the 9 hit on the turn to give him quad 9s. He got down and he was praying to somebody. I don't know who it was, but man, it feels good to see someone. I guess I can't call it a bad beat. I mean, But what's he supposed to do? He's short stacked. He's got pocket nines, and he flops a 9. I mean, it was the second pair. I mean,
Yeah.
What's the odds of the guy having pocket jacks also? But I guess the jacks must have felt really good. He just has to sweat 2 outs.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Well, one. One out.
Oh, that's right. Just
One
one
out.
out. Yeah, that's right. Just 1 out. Yeah.
All right.
There
So,
you
activity happening on the bubble since the bubble
Lots
has
of
burst,
activity.
of course.
It was a buzz in the room, baby.
We've got Paul Tedeschi doubles up. He goes to 440,000.
Was that the aces against the queens?
That's
or?
aces against queens
Yeah,
on that one.
I had that hand right too.
Okay. Let's see. Stuart Rudder doubles up. And, of course, those are the guys in there. We had Valentin Moreno is out. He's the first guy listed on the bubble bursting. He had deuces against 4s. Got no help. He is out of there. We also lose Randy Ohl. So there's a pretty big name getting knocked out on this level. We also had, let's see, looks like, I'm just looking to see who we got here. Bradley Craig gets ace-king snapped by ace-jack. Craig goes down to 85,000, loses 156,000 chips on that hand.
Now, this happened after the breaking of the
Yep.
bubble. Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Michael Jensen, 10s whacked by 5s, 5 on the flop. And
I told you the
Hyung
fur is going to
Kim-
be flying right after they got into the money.
Yep. So Michael Jensen out. Eric Cloutier runs into Ronnie Barta, and Barta, who didn't have that many chips, but he doubles up and takes Eric Cloutier out. And, of course, once again, congratulations to Ronnie, setting the new record for consecutive cashes in the main event at 5.
5 in a row?
5 in a row.
Nice.
So that's not too darned bad. But Barta doubles up, goes to 150,000. Let's see.
Is that an all-time WSOP record?
Yep.
Cash in 5 times in a row? Wow.
Yep. Jianming Zhang out. Just like that, his ace-queen gets cracked by ace-8, running
Wow.
cards for a straight. Oh, my God. That's really bad, too. 5-9-7 flop, 6 on, yuck. Yuck. So players already starting to get run out the door here at the main event after the bubble burst. Of course, it's always chaotic in that room as everybody just, the short stack. We did have a player get through with 1 blind and 1 ante.
Really?
2 chips in his hand.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. So there's a good story for you on that one.
We don't have any report on the guy who's taking 2 minutes in every hand. Did we find out if he still did he make it?
No. Don't know. Let's see. What else do we let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Chat box, by the way. Did Joe go inside the ropes?
Of course I went inside the ropes.
Oh, shoot. Don't tell anybody.
I'm allowed to go inside the ropes.
We'll talk. We'll
That-
talk. We'll talk.
Are you trying to tell me I'm not supposed to? I think you're wrong.
No. I gotta tell you something later. Let's see. We had. I'm just looking for the. I know that we had some updated.
Did
chip
you
counts
send me
for
into
it.
the Lions Den with meat
Well-
hanging from my pockets? You sent me into the Lions Den with steak hanging out of my
No,
pockets. didn't you?
typically with a media pass, you can get into the ropes.
Right.
But we'll talk later.
Oh, am I in trouble?
No, just
Is the Mark Hoke show in trouble?
no.
Okay.
We'll just relax. It's okay. We'll talk.
I just got back in at the,
We'll
at
talk.
the Rio.
Chip counts from the purple section. Michael Aaron, 710,000. Matt Wassman, 630. Jared Blesnick, 600. Simon Charette is making his move up the board, 540. Devo, Brian Devonshire, 215. Maria Ho, 214. Olivier Bousquet in a little trouble at 90. Matthias de Mulder, 75. Craig McCorkle hits the river. He doubles up on Bradley Craig. So obviously Mickey Dofton, the Poker News team, is going to be running around in there for a while picking up some chip counts. So all hell breaks loose here at the World Series of Poker on the Bubble. Pretty fun, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A good time.
I'm a little concerned now. Did I break a rule today?
No. We'll talk. No, we'll talk.
You don't want to say it on air, do you?
We'll talk.
Well, you must have said something on air for when somebody in the chat box is saying.
Somebody said something in the chat box. We'll talk.
Okay.
It's
Nothing from the Rio itself.
No, it's
okay.
no, it's okay. Ivy is over 800,000.
He's back. He had given some back yesterday.
So Phil Ivey.
He's at the feature table, too, by the way.
Yep, of course he is. Let's see. People putting stuff out in basketball, too, by the way. Yeah, how about that?
LeBron James.
How about LeBron James? I'll give you a shot.
Who says you can't go back home?
You know what?
I do not like the move at all, by the way.
Why? Why don't you like the move?
Because he left Cleveland high and dry.
He did.
And now he's returning. All of a sudden, his love for Cleveland has, he said that Cleveland is bigger than basketball. Please stop.
Well,
they go where the money is. It's ridiculous.
Well, he could have gone a lot of better places.
You know, when
than
I was
Cleveland.
growing up, players played a team, and they played their whole entire career for a team. And then there's these guys they change teams like they change underwear.
But I got to say, I mean, the guy probably could have gone to any team he wanted. They would have cleared the space for him, and he's going to Cleveland.
I don't like it at all.
There's many better vacation destinations / places to live than Cleveland. No offense to our friends in Cleveland out there, but still.
What are they paying him?
I think he got the max salary. Of course he did. He deserves it.
I rest my case.
He's the best player in the game. Well, you should get the max salary.
You shouldn't be able to flip-flop teams like this. This is so wrong.
Well, he opted out of his contract. He opted out of his contract.
Well, let me ask you this question. So all the people in Cleveland who burned his jersey when he left.
They're pissed.
Now what?
They're happy.
They got to buy it back now?
They do. Whoopsie.
I hope when he claps the talcum and it gets in his eyes and he can't play. We're going over to a sports station, so we got to probably kind of get ourselves versed in other things, in other sports besides poker.
Well, I'm okay.
You're okay?
Uh-oh, and by the way, it looks like, did Justin Gardenhire get knocked out? Oh, Jesus. Aces against Ace-King. King 3, 5, 7, King.
Nice.
So Run Good Gear Pro Justin Gardenhire is out.
Well, not nice that he got knifed. I'm saying nice sarcastically. You can't. Seen Aces get cracked 2 times in the last 20 minutes inside.
So Gardenhire, wow, that is a tough break for him, and he was playing so well too. So 33 players already headed to the window. That didn't take long.
I told you the fur was going to fly.
Floor.
What's there's one more. There's a jump in the money. I think after about 20 or 30 spots. I believe.
Let's take a look-see here. As soon as I get to that, we go chip counts. That'll get me to where I need to be, actually pretty close. And prize pool. Man, it's fun. We get to start talking about the prize pool. That means we're almost done. Thank God. So it's going to be a long way to go. 622 to 693.
Oh, so good.
Is your first level of pay at $18,406. Of course, these guys aren't thinking about $18,406.
No, they're thinking about 10 milli.
They're thinking
10
at
mil.
ninth place at the November 9. Everyone would be
700,000?
guaranteed $730,725. Eighth getting $947,077. Seventh getting $1,235,000.
And that's where you see the little bit of difference because of the 10 million. I believe in the previous main events of recent. Ninth place was about 900,000 at a minimum. I think everyone except the ninth place player was a millionaire. Where now you're seeing there's a little bit of a cutback on the few bottom seats there at the final table to compensate for the 10 million up on top.
Yeah, actually, I'll tell you what I'll do is I will pull that real fast.
Are you going to pull last year's?
Because we're almost done, but let's hit those. We'll hit that final table. So, last year Mark Newhouse got 733,000. Oh. So actually, not much of a difference there. But I do remember previously it was close.
Everyone except the ninth spot was a millionaire.
Benefield got 944,000 for eighth place last year. And where did I put that? I've got 14 tabs open right now. 947,000 for eighth this year. But of course, the other thing you got to remember is we've got 300 more players. So that should have opened up the prize pool a little bit more. Michael Brumelheis picked up $1.22 million last year, and this year he is going to get. By Jiman Zhang out at the Matthew Sedgman eliminates him. 1.235. So actually, those numbers are pretty pretty comparable. But, of course, the other thing is you got to remember that 330 more players in there, cut everybody's down. So everybody else is going to be about the same.
That's an extra $3 million plus extra than last year.
And so Reese, so the big jump, of course, goes to first place. Ryan Reese last year won $8.3 million. Now that number is at 10. So you got $1.7 million jump on that. So that's a huge difference. That is a huge difference on that. But the other guys are going to be about the same. But now, it's going to be exciting when they get heads up, because now you're not talking about a $3.2 million jump. You're talking about a nearly $5 million pay jump for first and second place. I don't think anybody's going to get in a tanking type situation and kind of give up anytime soon and crack. I mean, it is literally almost $5 million between
but
first and second.
It's not a bad consolation prize, though, finishing second.
I can live with that. I'd be all right. I mean, I'd rather win, but
I'd still leave for a nice tropical island after I did that.
I'd buy a nice tropical island. All right, so an exciting show here is we got through the money bubble. We've got Ruffles.
It's.
I mean,
we're going off the air like in seconds now, right? Am I correct?
Yes, that is correct.
It's always been unorthodox to eat on the air, but I think that since you're a big fan of Ruffles,
those are so good.
I think we should open this bag.
Yeah.
And
what are you going to do?
No, I'm not going to. No.
I'm just worried you're going to tease me with the Ruffles.
No, I think
a chip in honor of the bubble?
I think we should do a chip on air,
okay.
even though it's taboo, in honor of the bubble.
In honor of the bubble.
Cheers.
There you go. Bubble's over. Ruffles have ridges.
And crunchy. They're really good.
God, those are so good.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mark, great show today.
Absolutely. Joe, outstanding work.
Chock full of information.
You betcha. So that is going to do it for our afternoon show. We'll be back tonight as probably about 3/4 of the field's going to be out. And
a lot of fur flying.
Yeah, but it's going to get interesting from here on out. So, guys, thank you for being with us. So on behalf of Joe, Mark Hoke here, thank you for following us here on the Mark Hoke Show. We do appreciate it. Make sure
if the Ruffles Corporation would like to be a sponsor, we will have these kind of bags at every show. So
I will eat them on air every time, guaranteed. Pay me enough, all good. All right, so that's going to do it. We'll see you guys tonight, 6:30 p.m. Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, and, of course, podbean.com and iTunes for your podcast, and YouTube for all the videos. So we will see you guys later on this evening here live from the World Series of Poker, Day 4 of the main event. Oh, they're in the money. Here we go. It's going to be fun. We'll see you guys tonight. Have a great afternoon.